Super Auto Pets is a strategy game. It kind of has a similar feeling to TCGs like Hearthstone. Don't let the fact that it's an auto battler put you off of playing this game, because it's more of a strategy simulator game than anything else. Let's get a couple of questions out of the way. So, is it free to play? It's absolutely free to play. It has been, and I'm pretty sure it's always going to be. Now, is it pay to win? I wouldn't say it's pay to win. The way the game works is there are, at the time of making this video, around like 150, 200 pets available. You can see them here. And everybody has the base pack available to them to pick from, to pick animals from, to create your own pack. We'll go on talking about packs later, but the base pack is actually very powerful. I won most of my games using the base pack. However, if you wanna create a specific team with pets available from the other packs, as you can see, you have to buy these, and these are quite expensive. It's more expensive than I care to spend money on, to be honest with you, on this game. But it's also fine because, as you can see, there's also a weekly pack available. And the way it works, pretty much the main way to play the game is the arena mode. Depending on what pack you have selected, if you have a custom pack or if you have the weekly pack selected, as far as I'm concerned, you will be facing opponents in using that pack. So right now I have the weekly pack selected. I would be facing opponents with the weekly pack, because otherwise it would be unfair if I had like a very overpowered team and they just using the weekly pack. And what the weekly pack is, every week there's a custom selection of pets put into the weekly pack, and these can include pets that you do not own. For instance, the base pack doesn't include the ladybug, as far as I'm concerned, or the salamander, or even more powerful pets. The point of the game is to reach 10 wins with your ragtag group of pets that all have different abilities. You have 5 lives. This has been revised many times in the past, but basically all you need to know is you don't want to lose the auto battling. You do not have any control over the battling once we end the turn. You only have control over what you are doing in this quote-unquote shop phase. And here lies the main, I guess, selling point of the game, is all these different abilities. Like, it's very similar again to TCGs like Hearthstone, where your units have an attack and a health. And again, the attack doesn't change depending on the health, but once the health reaches 0, the pet dies. It's called fainting in this game. Or if you are from Hearthstone, like Death Rattle, etc. And all of these pets are tier 1, which is represented by this little dice icon. There are pets available later in the game. These are tier 2 pets. Down here, these are tier 6 pets, and these tier 6 pets, as you can see, this piranha is a 10-2 and has a much more powerful ability than this duck, for instance. Unlike other TCGs though, pets and food always cost the same amount, so the default amount everything costs is 3 gold. You can see on the top right of this author's description. And you have 10 gold available each round, which replenishes. The reason why this is because, unlike other TCG games where, I don't know, you would get more gold every turn or whatever, there is a certain strategy where maybe you just want to buy a duck, and even in the later stages of the game you just want to keep that duck and you just want to increase its attack and health and whatever. But some other guy might just sell the duck and buy a later game unit, but that later game unit is probably gonna have much less stats than the overpowered duck that we would have by turn 11. And as you already saw, these higher tier pets and higher tier foods become available in later turns. We are in turn 1. Once we buy our pets, like I'm gonna buy this otter, I'm gonna roll once. And this is really important. You have 10 gold available. We bought 2 pets, as I said, each of these cost 3 gold. Of course we have 4 gold. but I don't really like this mouse. So I'm just gonna spend 1 gold on re-rolling the food item and the pets. And I'm just gonna buy this duck instead. And you always want to spend your 10 gold each round. As I said, this replenishes. The shop phase of turn 1 is done. We are going to press end turn, and the battle is going to commence. The battle is going to auto-resolve, meaning I have 0 actions to take in that battle. I can just watch. And the first time, at the end of the first shop phase, we just pick a random name. It doesn't really matter. Foppish Forks. Because alliteration is apparently important. Okay, so none of these pets have start of the battle abilities. The duck only has an ability that does something in the shop phase. The otter just buffs a random friend by 1+1, and this guy combined 2 beavers. Actually, no, he combined 2 otters. And unfortunately, each click is 1 action. But you can also click on the autoplay. Unfortunately, we lost. And we lost 1 life out of the 5. And as you can see, we have 0 out of 10 wins. But that's okay. Shit happens. Now, when it comes to leveling up your pets, if you click up here, this is very important. This is a really good overview where you can check what each pet does. So we could sell the duck, and it mainly has just a sell ability. It doesn't really do much, this duck. It gives shop pets 1+ health. It would be nice, but I really want to keep this duck for whatever reason. I already buffed it and I want to combine these. If we combine these 2 pets, you can see those 2 little orange looking markers. It means that we need 2 more ducks to reach level 2. But before I combine them, this duck has 3 attack, 4 health. This one has 2 attack, 3 health. When I combine them, these are not going to combine, so it's not going to be a 5-7 duck, unfortunately. What combining does is it takes the higher attack and the higher health, and it adds +1/+1. So this duck is only going to be like a 4-5. This is why oftentimes it's preferable not to combine pets until you reach like 5 pets, a full 5 team, because you are losing stats, right? Sometimes, okay, like very specific scenarios, it's better to combine pets because you can, I don't know, kill like lower stated pets with a really big pet, but that's besides the point. I'm also going to buy an opossum simply because it just has a lot of health, not because of its ability. Its ability is not great right now. I'm gonna roll and whatever, I'm just gonna buy like 2 geese. And I'm not gonna combine these because I don't want to lose 2/2. If I combine them, I would only have a 3/3 goose, but this way, not only do I have 4/4 stats of goose separately, but they have these abilities will trigger, both of these will trigger. So the goose will remove 1 attack from the first enemy in the battle, as we will see. Let's put this at the back. It's generally better to put the higher attack and health pet at the front and the lower attack and health pet at the weaker pet at the back, but not always. It depends on how the enemy composition is. Let's click on end turn, and then the second turn's battle will auto-resolve. So both of us have 2 geese, that's kind of funny. Right now we are in just pausing the game. My 2 geese will remove 2 attack from this fish, it's gonna be a 1/3, and then these 2 geese will remove 2 attacks, it's gonna be a 2/5. I'm gonna click once, but you can also click on autoplay to not have to click. There you go. So our goose is going ham, and this was an example where combining the two, not Goose, sorry, my duck. This was a scenario where combining the two ducks, even though we lost stats, we actually got really lucky with the stat combinations of the enemy team, and we very easily won that. We got 1 victory, so obviously our health didn't, we didn't lose any lives, and we got 1 win out of the 10. And because we have reached turn 3, tier 2 pets became available. There's another game mechanic right now in the game where if you lose early, you will just get back 1 life, it doesn't really matter. And as you can see, the tier 1 pets are still available in the shop. Most of the times, unfortunately, because you don't want to buy these anymore. I want to buy something better, and this jellyfish is something better. Let's combine these two geese to make way for the jellyfish. And the reason why I like this pet is because when anything levels up on my team, it just gets buffed by 1+1. Going back to the levels, I actually forgot to talk about this with the duck. So if we buy another duck and combine it on top of this duck, not only will we increase its stats by 1+1, it will also become level 2. And a level 2 duck essentially has a better ability, so instead of selling it and giving shop pets +1 health, it would give like 2 health. But again, as I said, these tier 1 pets have really bad abilities, generally speaking, and this duck has a bad ability, in my opinion. It's not worth buying ducks just to increase the shop pets health by that amount. With sell pets, not always, but it's generally better to buy 1 sell pet and then sell it, instead of combining these for no reason. I will buy another otter to just show you. So the buy ability activates no matter if you buy a pet and you place it on an open space, or if you buy a pet and place it on top of an existing pet. The reason why this is important to note is because there are some pets that buff each other on summon. Buffing on summon only triggers if you, like, let's say we had, it's not in this spec right now, but there's a pet called, there's a turkey essentially in the game, and it gives a massive amount of, like, a decent amount of stats on summon. If we had a turkey on the team, and if we had an open space for the otter, we place it there and the turkey would buff the otter. But because we placed the otter on top of an already existing otter, the summon of the turkey does not trigger. So I wanted to roll one more time in case we got something better. Unfortunately, I only have 2 gold, but that's fine. I can sell some of my pets, or one of my pets, but unfortunately I will not get the free gold back. I will only get back 1 gold. Should I buy a goldfish or a flamingo? Again, it doesn't matter if we are in tier 1, tier 2 or tier 6, everything costs 3 gold. So the goldfish is weaker than the flamingo, but it would discount pets next turn. However, the flamingo, when it faints, and I prefer this pet to be honest, it has a decent amount of attack power to be a frontline player, and it would give +1/+1 to these pets. So we click on end turn, the flamingo is going to die, and then it's going to give a duck +1/+1, and then this opossum +1/+1. But, and this is very important, as you will see, ooh, powerful duck, okay. All sorts of different pets on this battlefield. So the flamingo dies, +1/+1 to these, which is very fortunate because my duck is not going to die. So as you saw, my duck became a 5-6, right? And this opossum is a 4-5. Ooh, this is very unfortunate. We draw. But at least we didn't lose. Draw happens way more often than you can imagine. It doesn't mean anything. You don't lose any health, you don't gain any wins, neither does your opponent. You essentially just progress by one turn. But what happened? My duck was a 5-6, but my opossum was a 4-5. Well, buffs, or literally anything that happens in a battle, does not carry over to the shop phase, or I guess the future rounds. The reason why I'm saying it like this, and it's an important distinction, is because on the other hand, anything that happens in the shop stays for the future rounds. So it's not in the weekly pack right now, but there is a food item called a pill that just kills an animal. And the reason why the pill is useful is because if I were to pill this flamingo and kill it, I would trigger its feint ability, and my duck and my opossum would permanently be buffed with the +1/+1 that the flamingo gave. So yeah. Let's also buy a food item this turn. I'm just going to buy a croissant. Basically every round it would give my pet, at the end of every turn, it gives one attack to the pet that holds this. But watch. Again, this is free gold. Everything is free gold. All the pets and all the food are free gold by default. It has the croissant particle effects. I never thought I would utter this sentence. The duck has the croissant particle effects, which means it's holding a croissant, like the tooltip says, but it cannot hold anything else. I can give the duck a cupcake because the cupcake is not a food effect. It's just simply a buff. Let's roll once. But this meat bone is another food effect. It's an okay one. Like, give one pet the meat bone, a perk, right? Attack with +4 damage. If I bought this on the croissant, as you can see, it even says on the tooltip it will replace the croissant. So I don't want to do that. I could buy the apple to increase my duck by 1+1 because it's only a buff, not a perk, right? You can only have one perk, but you can buff as many times as you want. But I don't want to buy the apple just yet. I was hoping for either more jellyfish, a goose, or another duck. So let's roll. I'm gonna waste a bit of money, but that's okay. Actually, you know what? I'll just show you this. I will sell the opossum, and the sell ability will activate. Give one random feint pet in the shop +1/+1. And there is a feint pet in the shop, this black-necked stilt, that will have trumpets when it dies. Let's just try this. So let's sell this. Okay, he buffed it. And as you can see, this is now permanent because the buff applied in the shop, so it's permanent. I will show you what the trumpet does. Let's roll one more time because I sold one thing and I still have 4 gold. So again, everything costs 3 gold. It would be better to find something that can level up. Unfortunately, I only found a flamingo. I also have a panda. And again, an otter that buffs. I'm not going to explain every ability, but that's okay. I'm just going to buy an apple to buff my duck. Because I want to keep this duck around forever, because I love the duck. Even though its ability does nothing in battle. And the croissant buffed its attack by 1, so it's now at an even 6+6. Now, the opponent also has a stilt, so we'll see what this trumpet ability does. They kill each other. Unfortunately, the betta fish is like a better flamingo. It's a tier 3, as you can see on the tooltip in the middle. The dice has 3 holes. It's tier 3 pet that, again, on feint, it buffs something behind it. Very similar to the flamingo, but again, a little bit better. The panda kills itself to buff the pet in front of it. It doesn't really matter. But unfortunately, this level 2 goose also reduced my attack, or the flamingo's attack power, so... But luckily the betta fish's buff does not mean that we don't kill here. We are pretty even at this point. My stilt killed the other stilt. The difference was that otter, by the way, that I sold to increase the stats. Just remember that. And when the stilt dies, it gains 2 trumpets. The trumpets summon a golden retriever. It's hard to explain, but you get trumpets. They're up here. It's not gonna summon a golden retriever just yet. It's going to summon one a second to last. So just before this jellyfish, basically. Now. And depending on how many trumpets you have, you summon a bigger golden retriever. But unfortunately we lose because the panda buffed this goldfish by quite a bit. But that's okay. Because we reached turn 5, we are in tier 3. Now we can buy... tier 3 pets like the betta fish that you saw, but there's the meerkat also. It doesn't really matter. What matters is I really want to show you. Let's just buy this, why not? I really want to show you combining. So, by these 2 orange notches, you can see that to reach level 2, you need to buy 2 additional pets on top of your existing pet to reach level 2. And this is what's going to happen. And because the jellyfish's ability that when anyone, including itself by the way, when anyone levels up, you just gain stats. Not only will this be a 4-5, it will also gain +1/+1. And because it was already a level 2 technically, it gained +2/+2. So this was really nice. The jellyfish is a very nice pet that a lot of people actually like to buy. Yeah. For level 3, let's see what the jellyfish would do at level 3. Pretty much the same ability but better. When anyone levels up, it would gain even more attack and even more health. So 3 health and 3 attack. Unfortunately, to reach level 3 though, I would need to buy 3 more jellyfishes. So to reach the max, and by the way, level 3 is the maximum. To reach level 3 you need 6 jellyfishes or 6 of the same pet. This is going to be really weird, but I'm going to sell the goose. I'm going to sell the flamingo. And I'm going to buy the llama, which has a special ability that where it buffs itself if there is at least 1 empty space. Again, generally speaking, it's not good to leave an empty space, but I will leave one. And just to show you what freezing does, let's roll one more time. I want to spend this gold. If you click on end turn without spending your gold, the game will just tell you, are you sure you want to do that? Because it's always good to spend your gold. I didn't really get any interesting pets, to be honest. But if I really wanted to, like if I wanted to keep this giraffe, which by the way buffs pets in front of it, it's a nice pet, it's a decent pet. I could freeze it. I can click on it and drag it down here. Or, I guess click on it once and then click on freeze. I can unfreeze as many times, and you can freeze as many things as you want. What freezing does, and this will seem overpowered to you at the very beginning, if you freeze something, it will remain even if you reroll, and even next turn if the shop refreshes at the beginning of next turn. So just for the hell of it, I don't want to buy this, but I'll lose for you guys. Freeze the giraffe. Again, these buffs resolve. The dog gave itself an attack because of the croissant, and the llama buffed itself because of the empty space. This team is very fucking big. The panda is going to buff the ladybug. The bear had a special ability where it places honey over pets, which, by the way, summons a bee on death or on faint. This is really bad. But because we got a golden retriever, or more specifically because we have a jellyfish, at the back. It's a really big unit. We win. At the very beginning, I would have said that we are going to lose, but you never know. And as you saw, the giraffe remained in the shop because it was frozen. Now, at the very beginning, you might say that freezing stuff is super overpowered because you can do it as many times as you want. Yeah, but again, because every couple of turns you get better pets and better food, you don't really want to freeze that many things because then you don't get new things, right, on rerolls. So generally you would be freezing stuff that you don't have enough money and you want to level up something, or you maybe you have a more powerful pet that you got and you want to freeze that to keep it for next because you don't have enough money. That's pretty much the only time you freeze, when you don't have enough money. But yeah. Another thing I wanted to show you. Let's buy this duck, and I'm straight up just going to put it on here. Very, very funny, but when you combine pets and they get to level up, like when we leveled up this jellyfish, we got a llama, right? We got really lucky, by the way, here. I'm just going to buy this, but what's weird about this? Why is it weird that we got a llama, where we are in turn 6, and llama is not even available yet? Now, the game would be very, very simple if you essentially just always got like the best pets of the current tier and you sold them, and then you got the next pet and then you sold them. But the game rewards you for leveling up your lower tier pets by giving you a random pet in the shop from the next tier. This is why we got this llama, even though we are just in tier 3. I'll buy this, why not? Let's also buy... I want to buy this giraffe, because I know the llama is gonna stick around, and also this jellyfish, so I just buy the giraffe. But before I buy the giraffe, I want to roll once more, because I have 4 gold and this only costs 3 and I can buy nothing else, right? So I'm just gonna freeze it and roll once to keep the giraffe just in case we get something better. And I don't think we got something better. We could also buy like steals, but I just want the giraffe. We already got one, so I just buy this. Let's do it like this, to keep the weak at the very back. But it doesn't really matter. I could buff the duck or I could buff the llama. I'm gonna keep this giraffe around. I forgot that because I saw something I have 1 more gold, so let's roll one more time. Yeah, okay, I'll buy another jellyfish. Even though at this point it's not worth it, because, well, you need to spend 9 gold, right, to buy 3 jellyfishes and get it to level 3, but whatever. These things buff themselves, the giraffe buff the jellyfish. We didn't really increase in power this turn, but we progressed towards the llama level 2, and yeah. This guy also has a tier 4 unit because of the leveling up. And this is a really good unit, an anteater. You'll see what it does in a second. We got really lucky here, because the duck can double kill. The llama can kill the anteater, which will summon 2 ants that buff stuff behind them. But we got very lucky here too, because the llama can kill so many units. And we have a massive jellyfish that just kills that really weak, puny giraffe. We avenged the giraffe that died at the very beginning because of that dolphin snipe. Yeah. This is a very interesting pet, so if you buy a crow for 3 gold, and you sell a crow, it turns the food side of the shop into a chocolate, and chocolate just gives 1 experience. Chocolate is pretty much like, it doesn't matter what pack you are building, you pretty much always gonna have chocolate in your pack, because experience is like buying another pet. You basically don't have to rely on RNG that much with the chocolate. The emu is also a really cool pet. But yeah, at this point you understand the game. Different pets have different abilities. Each turn you get closer to a higher tier of the shop, and you need to reach 10 wins without losing all your lives to win. So yeah, I think I've explained everything. There is also a couple of rules if you click up here. Oh, not that one, sorry. This is the previous battle. I clicked on the wrong thing. Skip. You can rewatch your previous battle by clicking up here, but what I wanted to show you is game tips. So, a couple of simple things. It doesn't really matter at this point, but higher attack pets will trigger their ability sooner. As I explained to you, any buff in the battle does not remain, but buffs in the shop remain until the end of the game. The maximum attack and health is 50. 1 gold for selling, 3 gold for buying. And there's a new rule where if a pet gives an ability to a pet, like let's say behind it or something like a turtle, it will try to give it to another pet that doesn't already have that buff. And you can turn on easy mode and hard mode in Arena. That's a very new thing as well. But yeah, thanks for watching the video, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye bye. Oh yeah, and after playing you will just get points and you get like random hats unlocked, backgrounds and whatever, like pet entrances.